The Wyvern is one of the easiest ways to consistently make money in Dark and Darker. Despite the surplus of existing guides, there is a very large amount of information missing that will make this fight significantly easier. This guide will show you how to consistently take the high roller Wyvern while keeping the chance of wiping to a minimum. Very quickly, the Frost Wyvern is found in the Ice Abyss that you can access by jumping into the void in ice caverns when there is less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. That's about here in the HR timer. The void will turn stormy red when you can safely jump down. The Wyvern is found in the dead centre of the map, located atop an icy arena surrounded by void. There are 2 harpies on the north and south side of the arena, so make sure to carefully clear those as they will grief you during the fight. Once the Wyvern is dead, a powerful updraft will carry you to an extract if you jump near the centre of the arena. This takes about 20 seconds to extract you, so be sure to leave well before the end of the game. The wiki page for the Frost Wyvern is quite confusing, so I'll break down each attack here simply. Before that though, it's important to note that all attacks apply a melee attack slow debuff, applying a 15% action speed slow for 11 seconds. This slow can stack up to 3 times, with the cooldown resetting every time a stack is applied, and all 3 stacks needing to deplete individually, meaning at 3 stacks it takes 33 seconds for the debuff to be fully removed. This debuff cannot be removed with cleanse. The first of these attacks is the Combo Tail Attack 1. In this attack, the Wyvern will flick its tail behind itself. It will only do this if there is a player sufficiently close to its tail. This attack can be blocked and inconsistently jumped. Next is Combo Tail Attack 2. The Wyvern does a 360 spin with its tail in this attack, damaging all those around it. This attack can be blocked, jumped in some areas, ducked in others, and sometimes deal no damage at all if you're in the right spot. The hitbox is weird, so just block it for consistency. Combo forward attack left and right are part of the crawl attack. In this attack, the Wyvern will swing either its left or right arm forward, dealing damage to everyone on that side of the Wyvern. This attack will often chain with the other arm attack immediately after, resulting in the crawl name. These attacks can be chained a seemingly infinite number of times, so long as there are players in range. This attack can be jumped, but not blocked. Additionally, this attack will hit you when Phantomized. Combo 2-hand attack is a big slam that affects all players near the front of the Wyvern. It does big damage, but also stuns the Wyvern for a brief moment, allowing for a few free hits. It cannot be blocked or dodged, so just avoid. Combo Breath Ground is the first attack in any combo. A combo is a chain of attacks starting with a Combo Breath Ground, followed by a Combo Breath Ground, a Combo Leap attack, or the combo ending, followed by a Combo Leap attack or the combo ending, followed by the combo ending. So a combo can consist of 1 to 3 attacks. Combo Breath Ground shoots a missile. These missiles will lock onto your position about half a second before firing, so unlike other ranged mobs, can be dodged at point blank range so long as you're strafing. Combo Breath Air is exactly the same as Combo Breath Ground, except the Wyvern flies up to shoot. Again, it will combo this with a leap attack or another breath attack. However, when finishing this combo, it will sometimes slam instead of gently setting down. These projectiles will create ice pillars when hitting the ground, which are important for surviving the special attacks. Combo Leap Attack 1 is a simple leap towards a player. This leap cannot be blocked and has very large knockback. The Wyvern will turn towards a player and after a brief animation rapidly leap towards the target. This is by far the most lethal attack. As such, there is a dedicated portion of this video to avoiding this attack as it is the hardest to dodge. Combo Leap Attack 2 is a backstep and missile attack. From what I know, the backstep itself doesn't deal damage. This projectile will create an ice pillar. Combo Leap Attack 3 is a ground slam that does the highest damage of all normal attacks. It cannot be blocked and follows the same mechanic as Combo Leap Attack 1 for aiming. However, if the Wyvern is aggroed on multiple people, it will sometimes take what seems to be an average position between players and slam there. This can make it feel like the dragon is predicting your movements. It's not, you just got unlucky. With this in mind, it's important to stay fast and vigilant when the Wyvern is doing this attack so you can react to rogue dives. That was all the regular attacks. At 75%, 50% and 25% HP, the Wyvern will do a special attack. All special attacks are indicated by the dragon flying up and doing 3 breath air attacks in rapid succession, then slamming to the direct centre of the arena. The dragon is immune to all damage whilst doing these attacks. The first of these special attacks is the special breath air attack that occurs at 75% HP. After the telegraph, the dragon will scream, then fly around the arena for a bit before settling on an edge. It will then do a large breath attack that affects the entire arena other than under it. If you are hit by the breath, you will take immense damage and accrue 3 stacks of extreme cold slow that will lower your move speed and action speed by 20% per stack. It is normally fatal. To avoid this attack, you will need to stand behind an ice pillar or under the dragon. Normally, you would get pushed away while standing under the dragon, but I will cover later how you can avoid this. However, if you know how to avoid being pushed back, you can actually get some sneaky melee hits in on the wing as it flaps down. After completing the breath attack, the Wyvern will fly back to the center of the arena and gently settle down. There is room for lots of DPS when it does this. The second special attack is the Special Breath Ground Attack that occurs at 50% HP. After the telegraph, the dragon will hover just above the ground and select a direction. It will start a clockwise rotating breath attack that covers the entire arena. Much like the Special Breath Air Attack, hiding behind ice pillars protects you from damage. You can also stand directly next to it, but I have had inconsistent results from that. It will complete approximately 1.5 rotations, so quite often you can run in and start damaging while the Wyvern is still doing this attack. After completing this attack, it will gently settle back on the ground. The final special attack doesn't deal any damage and occurs at 25% HP. Instead, the Wyvern will try to push you into the void. It isn't named on the wiki, so I've just called it the Flap Attack. In this attack, the Wyvern will hover in the sky in the center of the arena, forcefully flapping its wings. This will knock you towards the edge. The intended way to survive this attack is to use ice pillars to block your movement. However, the speed you approach the edge is determined by your move speed. By reducing your movement speed as much as possible, you can enormously reduce the effects of this attack. You may have seen people bandaging to do this, which works, but you can do a lot better. Holding S, Shift and Control will cause you to move backwards while crouched and walking. Combine this with blocking or using any kind of med, and your move speed will be so low you basically won't move. You can get a bard to lament you for added effect, but that's really overkill. Now you know why it works, you can use it on the Special Breath Air Attack that occurs at 75% HP as well. The clips of taking this dragon as a group were taken before the update removing the required 4 people to start the boss. As such, we definitely had this on easy mode. From our games, we found barbarians were the most consistent class you could run for DPS. It simply comes down to the complete knockback resistance granted by the Iron Will perk. Assuming you're running a cleric also, your barbarian should never die. Combine this with a bard for Shriek of Weakness and you'll tear through the Wyvern in no time. This is what I believe to be the easiest comp to learn the dragon on. It allows for many mistakes as you refine your movement. There are definitely faster comps, but this one is consistent. Additionally, the cleric can remain on the pathway up to the arena. If you inch to the very edge of the top pedestal, you will not draw aggro from the boss, or take any damage/knockback from its special attacks. When you're low, just run to the cleric and have them safely heal you. It should be noted the Wyvern is definitely harder to dodge in a group than solo, so be prepared to take a few hits. If you know you're going to get hit, do not jump, or you will get flung extremely far. With this, you should have enough to start taking the boss as a group. If you want to start doing damageless runs, keep watching to see the more advanced solo guide. This is where it gets interesting. It is actually a very consistent boss to take if you get the mechanics down pat, and after 40 kills, I have averaged about a skull key per kill profit, so it is incredibly rewarding. The easiest class to do this boss solo on is definitely Warlock. With self-healing and Phantomize as a get out of jail free card, you can be confident in every run. Before going over Warlock specifically, I'll cover the general details for soloing the boss. I've already covered the attacks, but there are some specific details on how to consistently dodge them I saved for here. The most important attack to cover is the Combo Leap Attack 1. You will die to this the most. To better convey the lesson, I'll start with a clip where I die to this attack. Watch this and see if you can tell why I died.
Oh no.
That's right, I died because I got hit by a massive fucking dragon. The reason I got hit is because I rotated towards the head of the Wyvern. Here, let me illustrate. Unlike most projectile attacks from mobs where they rotate to face you, the Wyvern only rotates until its projected leap hitbox hits you. As such, if you are moving towards the direction of rotation, you will trigger the leap whilst moving towards the center of the hitbox. Unless you are very quick, you will walk straight into the leap and get hit by it. That's why at all times you have to rotate away from the head. This ensures if a leap is triggered, You will be moving away from the hitbox, not into it. It's also important to know that for some reason, the Wyvern has a tendency to over-rotate in the clockwise direction when turning to face you. Because of this, it is better to rotate right when you can help it. This doesn't mean always rotate right. Sometimes the fight necessitates rotating left, but you should be spending the majority of the fight rotating right. When you have these mechanics down pat, you shouldn't ever be getting hit into the void. The issue now is dealing damage. Melee attacks are your best friend for damage. You need to bait a melee attack and quickly run into stab or throw spells while it's standing still. This is almost entirely intuition, so play around with timings and distances until you get it right. You will die a lot learning this boss. The last thing that will ruin a run for you is ice pillars. I have died many times to having my movement interrupted by a pillar, so when you get the chance you should be trying to bait attacks into ice pillars to break them. While the dragon is phasing, you can even spend some time breaking them yourself. Now on to details specifically for Warlock. The most important factor in this fight is Hellfire and Flamewalk uptime. You should almost always have Flamewalk up, and after every melee attack or dive, be throwing a Hellfire onto the boss. This is easier said than done, as to keep these spells active you need to be fast on the cancel. If you're caught casting or charging a spell on a dive, you'll likely die. It takes a while to get the hang of it, but once you can consistently spell cancel when you need it, you will glide through the fight. To play it safe, I will often hold a spell until the start of an animation and cast it then. That way I know the Wyvern won't dive while I'm mid-cast. Another small tip is to phantomize when the Wyvern begins its special attack. You can tell it's a special attack before it starts firing the ice bolts by the speed it flies up into the air. In fact, you can tell just by the sound. If you phantomize when it does this attack, you can control all 3 ice bolts to land on top of one another, ensuring only one ice pillar gets created. It's also very easy to get hit by this attack, so it's worth playing it safe. Move speed is the most important stat for Warlock, so you should always have at least 305 move speed in the lobby, 30% cast speed, and 115 health. You don't need healing, you don't need true damage, and you don't need magic power. All these stats are nice, but if you're experienced you'll be able to kill the dragon and mine all the ore without them. If you find yourself dying a lot, try building higher move speed. It allows for more mistakes. For your perks, you have to run Torture Mastery, and you should run Curse Mastery, Malice, and Vampirism. Self-healing throughout the fight is necessary from Torture Mastery. Due to recent nerfs, building magic healing is almost a lost cause for this perk, so I don't bother anymore. Once you do finally kill the Wyvern, it will drop 3 weapons or shields. These will range from epic to unique, being twice as likely as Inferno bosses to roll unique. Additionally, the Wyvern may drop Ice Claws or a Frozen Iron Key. In the center of the arena is a bit of ice. It can be broken with an impact power greater than 4, Hellfire, or Fireballs. It also automatically breaks once the Wyvern is defeated. Under this ice is the chance for an egg to spawn. I've never found one, but they are generally worth at least a Skull Key. On the south side of the arena, you can find an ice door that leads to the boss loot room. Here you'll find the ore, a marvelous chest, and a gold loot pile. If you're solo, you'll likely only have time to mine the ore. Once you're done looting, you can go to the center of the arena and use the updraft extract to escape with your goodies. Using all these tips, you can start min-maxing for drops and ore. I bring an interaction speed set in my inventory so I can mine all the ore and try and get close to max luck on each piece of gear. And that's it! You should now have all you need to start consistently taking the Frost Wyvern. To finish the video off, here's a few clips showcasing the kind of loot you can expect.
High roller too, really. Thanks for your
Bro, that last jump was so close, man. The last dash. Viola.
Oh!
Oh!
What the?
I told you, bro. I told you.
What is
I
that?
told you.
Oh my god! Wait,
Oh
look at the
my
hand
God.
crossy, bro. It's the hand crossy is
Holy.
so sick.
Bro.